All right, I need you to do something for me right now. Take a deep breath. Let go of whatever's been weighing on your mind, because for the next few minutes, I'm not just going to talk to you. I'm going to take you on a journey, a quick journey that will change the way you see your life, your choices, and even your reality. By the time we're done, you won't just understand what's been holding you back. You'll feel it shift. Something inside you will click. And once it does, everything starts falling into place, effortlessly, naturally, almost like magic. But here's the thing, it's not magic. It's you. It's always been you. So, let's begin. Think about a time in your life when you wanted something so badly, but it just wouldn't happen. Maybe it was a relationship you were desperate to make work, a job you were convinced would change everything, or a dream you'd been chasing for years. You thought about it constantly. You hoped for it. You even obsessed over it. But no matter what you did, it just wouldn't come to life. Now, contrast that with another moment, a time when something incredible just fell into place, a time when you weren't even trying, when you barely even thought about it, and yet, suddenly, it happened. Almost like it was meant to be. Why does this happen? Why do the things we chase seem to run further away, while the things we're indifferent about seem to flow to us without resistance? It's not random. It's not luck. There's a hidden mechanism behind this, a mechanism most people either haven't paid attention to or simply have no idea exists. And once you understand it, once you truly get it, everything changes. The very things that once felt out of reach will start flowing toward you effortlessly. But here's the catch. You can't just understand it intellectually. You have to feel it. You have to step into it. And that's exactly what we're going to do together. Here's the truth. The universe, or more accurately, your reality, isn't something that's happening to you. It's something that's responding to you. And this is where most people get stuck. You're not waiting on reality to change. Reality is waiting on you. Think about it. How many times have you wanted something so badly, but it just wouldn't come? And then, the moment you stopped caring, the moment you let it go, boom, it showed up. That's not a coincidence. That's the law. When you chase, when you obsess, when you keep looking for proof, you're telling reality that you don't have it. And reality will always mirror back the state you're in. But the moment you stop needing it, stop checking, stop trying to control it, that's when it starts moving toward you. Not because you gave up, but because you shifted into the version of you that already has it. This is exactly what Neville Goddard was trying to teach us. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And that assumption, when sustained, will harden into fact. Now think about that for a second. He didn't say hope for it. He didn't say wish for it. He said assume it. An assumption isn't trying, it's knowing. When you assume something is already yours, you don't chase it. You don't keep looking for signs. You don't sit there wondering when it will come. Because in your mind, it already has. And that's exactly why doing nothing is the key. Because the moment you assume it's done, you stop interfering. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting. You stop trying to force it into place. And that's when things begin to move. Because reality finally has the space to shift without resistance. Now here's where I want to add something that's often overlooked. This isn't just about manifesting external things. It's about aligning with your true self. It's about stepping into the version of you that's already whole, already complete, already enough. So many of us are chasing things because we believe they'll fill a void. We think, if I just get that job, that relationship, that recognition, then I'll be happy. But here's the truth. When you operate from that place of lack, you're telling the universe, I'm not enough as I am. And guess what? The universe will reflect that back to you. But when you shift into the energy of already being enough, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop striving. You start trusting. And that's when life begins to flow. Not because you've forced it, but because you've aligned with it. So the real question is, how do you step into that energy? How do you stop chasing and start trusting? That's exactly what I'm going to show you. Stay with me. All right, let's get into it. How do you actually step into this energy of already having what you desire? How do you stop chasing and start trusting? Here's the first step, and it's the most important one. 1. Stop chasing. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you've been operating from a place of, I need this to happen. And that mode, it's keeping you stuck, because every time you think, where is it? Or why isn't it here yet? You're reinforcing the fact that it's not here. So, let me ask you this. If it was already done, how would you feel? Would you be anxious? No. Would you be constantly checking? No. Would you be doubting? No. You'd be relaxed, confident, certain, and that's exactly the energy that makes it show up. So, from this moment on, stop looking for it. Stop waiting for it. Stop questioning when it's coming. Instead, step into the energy of knowing. And the moment you do, everything starts shifting. 2. Listen to your intuition. Here's where I want to add something that's often overlooked. This isn't just about thinking positively or visualizing. It's about tuning into your inner guidance. Your intuition knows what's true for you. It knows what's aligned with your highest good. But here's the thing. Intuition doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you're too busy chasing, striving, and overthinking, you're going to miss it. So take a moment to get quiet. Ask yourself, what feels true for me right now? And then trust the answer. Even if it doesn't make sense logically, even if it feels scary, trust it. 3. Embrace the unknown. This is where most people struggle. We want guarantees. We want to know exactly how and when things will happen. But here's the truth. The magic happens in the unknown. The unknown isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the space where infinite possibilities live. So when doubt creeps in, and it will, do nothing. Let it pass, let it go. Because when you can sit in that space without reacting, without forcing, without needing, you step into effortless receiving. And that's when everything starts moving toward you. 4. Live as if. This is where Neville Goddard's teaching comes into play. He said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Live as if it's already done. Feel it. Believe it. Let that energy guide your actions. But here's the key. This isn't about pretending. It's about embodying. It's about stepping into the version of you that already has what you desire. And when you do that, reality has no choice but to catch up. Now here's where I want to add my own spin to this. This isn't just about manifesting external things. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about realizing that you're already whole, already complete, already enough. So many of us are chasing things because we believe they'll fill a void. We think, if I just get that job, that relationship, that recognition, then I'll be happy. But here's the truth. When you operate from that place of lack, you're telling the universe, I'm not enough as I am. And guess what? The universe will reflect that back to you. But when you shift into the energy of already being enough, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop striving, you start trusting, and that's when life begins to flow. Not because you've forced it, but because you've aligned with it. So the real question is, how do you step into that energy? How do you stop chasing and start trusting? That's exactly what I'm going to show you. Stay with me. 5. Make peace with not knowing. This is where the real shift happens. Most people can assume for a moment, but they can't let go of the timeline. They can't surrender the how. But if you can, you become unstoppable. Because the moment you stop obsessing over when it will come is the moment you prove to reality that you already have it. So, when doubt creeps in, do nothing. Let it pass. Let it go. Because when you can sit in that space without reacting, without forcing, without needing, you step into effortless receiving, and that's when everything starts moving toward you. 6. Trust the silence. Here's something I want you to understand. There's always a gap between assumption and reality catching up. That gap, it's not a delay, it's alignment. Reality isn't testing you, it's recalibrating itself to match your new state. So, in this final step, your job is simple. Keep living your life. Stay in ease. Refuse to stress about it. Because when you can hold that energy, when you can sit in silence without scrambling to make something happen, it will come. And the best part, it won't just come. It will come in a way that feels effortless, natural, and even better than you imagined. Now here's where I want to add something that's deeply personal to me. This isn't just about manifesting external things. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about realizing that you're already whole, already complete, already enough. So many of us are chasing things because we believe they'll fill a void. We think, if I just get that job, that relationship, that recognition, then I'll be happy. But here's the truth. When you operate from that place of lack, you're telling the universe, I'm not enough as I am. And guess what? The universe will reflect that back to you. But when you shift into the energy of already being enough, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop striving, you start trusting, and that's when life begins to flow. Not because you forced it, but because you've aligned with it. This is about more than just getting what you want. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. It's about stepping into your power, your authenticity, your truth. And when you do that, the things you desire don't just come to you. They come through you. They become an expression of who you are. Let's talk about the silence. The space between assuming your desire is already yours and seeing it manifest in your reality. This is where most people lose faith. They assume, they trust, they let go, and then nothing happens right away, so they start doubting again. They start questioning, they start chasing. But here's what you need to understand. The silence isn't empty. It's full of potential. It's the universe rearranging itself to match your new energy. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust that it's doing its thing underground. And one day, when the time is right, it breaks through the soil. And the same is true for your desires. When you assume it's done, when you trust the process, you're planting a seed. The silence is the soil, and your job is to let it grow. So how do you stay in that space of trust? How do you keep faith when nothing seems to be happening? Now, here's where I want to add something that's deeply personal to me. This isn't just about manifesting external things. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about realizing that you're already whole, already complete, already enough. So many of us are chasing things because we believe they'll fill a void. We think, if I just get that job, that relationship, that recognition, then I'll be happy. But here's the truth. When you operate from that place of lack, you're telling the universe, I'm not enough as I am. And guess what? The universe will reflect that back to you. But when you shift into the energy of already being enough, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop striving, you start trusting. And that's when life begins to flow. Not because you forced it, but because you've aligned with it. This is about more than just getting what you want. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. It's about stepping into your power, your authenticity, your truth. And when you do that, the things you desire don't just come to you, they come through you. They become an expression of who you are. Let me share a personal story with you. A few years ago, I was in a place where I felt stuck. I was chasing this big dream, but no matter what I did, it just wouldn't happen. I was frustrated, exhausted, and honestly, a little hopeless. Then, one day, I hit a breaking point. I realized I couldn't keep going like this, so I decided to let go. Not because I didn't care anymore, but because I trusted that if it was meant for me, it would find its way to me. And you know what happened? The moment I stopped chasing, the moment I started focusing on being present and authentic, things began to shift. Opportunities started showing up. People reached out to me. And that big dream, it didn't just happen. It happened in a way that was even better than I imagined. That experience taught me something powerful. When you stop chasing and start trusting, life begins to work with you, not against you. And that's the energy I want you to step into. Now, let's talk about alignment. Alignment is the key to effortless manifestation. When you're aligned, you're in flow. You're in harmony with the universe. And when that happens, everything falls into place. But how do you know if you're aligned? It's simple. Alignment feels good. It feels light, joyful, and expansive. Misalignment, on the other hand, feels heavy, stressful, and constricting. So from this moment on, pay attention to how you feel. Are you in alignment or are you out of alignment? The more you tune into this, the more you'll start making choices that keep you in flow. And here's the best part. When you're in alignment, you don't have to chase anything. Everything you desire flows to you effortlessly because you're no longer blocking it. You're no longer resisting it. You're allowing it. Now, let's go deeper into what it means to stay in the state of already having it. This is where most people slip up. They assume they trust, they let go. And then when nothing happens right away, they start doubting again. They start questioning. They start chasing. But here's the thing. The state of already having it isn't just a mindset. It's an energy. It's a feeling. And the more you can embody that feeling, the more reality will shift to match it. So how do you stay in that state? How do you keep that energy alive, even when nothing seems to be happening? One of the biggest blocks to manifestation is trying to figure out how it's going to happen. We want to know the steps, the timeline, the details. But here's the truth. You don't need to know the how. In fact, trying to figure it out can actually block it. Why? Because when you're focused on the how, you're operating from a place of lack. You're telling yourself, I don't have it yet, so I need to figure out how to get it. But when you let go of the how, you step into the energy of already having it, and that's when the universe can work its magic. So, from this moment on, let go of the how. Trust that the universe knows the best way to bring your desire to you. Your job is to stay in the energy of already having it. The rest will take care of itself. So from this moment on, when doubt creeps in, when impatience starts pulling at you, do nothing. Not because you don't care, but because you already know it's done. And once you can do that, you'll never chase again, because everything you want will start chasing you. This isn't about doing more. It's about allowing. The moment you stop chasing, stop checking. Stop waiting. Everything falls into place. You don't have to force it. You don't have to beg for signs. You don't have to wonder when or how. Because when you truly step into the state of already having it, reality will begin to shift to match it. And now, it's up to you. You can go back to overthinking, second-guessing, and waiting. Or you can do the one thing that changes everything. Nothing. So, here's what I want you to do. Type, "I let go," and it flows in the comments below. Declare it, feel it, let it be final. And if this resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.